Greetings from Scouse Farm. I'm here standing in a field with can't catch a break. There's some building work going on in a building right by me, and we've got a helicopter there, a police helicopter, obviously looking for a miscreant because it's been hovering around for a while. So I can't wait for it to disappear, so I'm just going to have to film it now. But I want to say thanks to at Mr. Liverpool Films 09. That's their YouTube username for the one of my subscribers who told me about this, what you're about to hear about, this incident that happened in the 40s. So this is following on from some of my recent World War II videos about some places of interest in Liverpool. We've had the pillbox in Allerton. You've seen a video on that, or if you haven't, I'll leave a link up top for you to have a look. So up here somewhere there'll be a link. And also recently the bridge, we had the bridge in Kirkdale, and that was where the subscriber placed the information for me to come and film this today. So what you can see now is on the top of the mound up there, that is a rail, an active railway. So I can't get up there because literally a train has just gone past, so it is still used today. So half the time in Liverpool I don't know whether a railway is used or not. But in the 1940s, Liverpool was heavily bombed by Germans, and in this area, which is Clubmoor, Tube Route Clubmoor, we had the Blitz in 1941, which was particularly bad. So on the 1st right through the 3rd of May 1941, German bombers absolutely devastated Liverpool. And the one major thing that happened here was there was an ammunition train that was at the docks. So it was in the docks full of ammunition and all sorts of explosives. And to try and save it for safekeeping, they moved it from the dock area, which was being heavily attacked, and they put it up to a rail siding somewhere around here, because this used to have the Clubmoor railway station, which is no longer here. But also there was a siding that they thought they could just park it up on and it'd be safe. But unfortunately the train was hit, so somehow the Germans knew the train had been moved and it got bombed. Massive explosions, and I'll leave a link down below in the video description, so have a look in the video description, and there's some links to actual accounts, first-hand accounts from people who are remembering what happened on that night back there in 1941. So have a good read of that down below. And the train took a direct hit and it exploded, taking the windows out of all of the houses over the other side. So there's some houses over that way. Took all the windows off, roofs were coming off, and one of the accounts says that when she woke up the next morning, it looked like, well, say woke up, you wouldn't have slept much, but on the next morning there was cotton all over the place, which is gun cotton. And she said it made it look like Christmas. It was like all of the houses were covered in snow. But gun cotton is like nitrocellulose. It is highly explosive. So once one of the carts went up in flames, that cotton was just going on fire and blowing up all over the place. And the damage to Liverpool during the Blitz was so bad that the government downplayed it on the radio and on the television in the news, because they didn't want to demoralize the rest of the country. So this is a little bit petulant of me, but recently I watch a lot of old films, and I remember I was watching Sherlock Holmes, The Voice of Terror, 1942, and the main character, Basil Rathbone, who plays Sherlock Holmes, they were talking about like demoralizing the country because the Germans knew everything in advance, because obviously there was a spy giving the secrets away. And they mentioned, they went, oh, we could have another London Blitz, Coventry Blitz, Bath, Bristol. And I was going, why didn't you mention Liverpool? Says we got battered. But now reading up on it, it was 1942, and in 1942 when that film was made, maybe the government was still downplaying the attack on Liverpool because it had only happened in May 1941. So for that film to be released in 1942, it was probably still in production when this Blitz happened, so they didn't want to mention it. I don't know, I might be wrong, but it sounds reasonable. And the subscriber said to me that you can see where the train fell down, one of the carts fell down, and the only place I can see with a bit of an indent is where I'm pointing now, because on the other side there is a sandstone wall, so it might have been that, and it's been bricked up with like older bricks. So I'm not too sure if it's the other side of this berm, but I can't walk you all the way around there, it'd take too long. But it does look like something has like fell down there in the past where I'm about to point now. But yeah, just obviously it's just a field now, but imagine now living around here, you've got the houses in the background. Imagine the explosion. So you've suffered 3 nights of actual horrendous bombardment, and then you have to wake up the next day, or at least get up the next day, and an ammunition train is just on fire, exploding all around the place all day. And then at the next night maybe another attack starts again. But what I do want to do is I want to mention a few civilians who acted very heroically at the time, and these were LMS railwaymen, so London, Midlands, Scotland or something I think it stands for. But they're the railwaymen who were on duty at the time. One was Mr. George Roberts, and he was a 34-year-old goods guard, and he jumped off the train, or at least was around the train, and he led the efforts to uncouple the wagons. So he could see what was going to happen, and he tried to uncouple the wagons with a couple of helpers and get the wagons shunted off so that all of the boxcars didn't go up in flames at the same time. And he was awarded the George Medal for this act of bravery. And another individual, John Gwynnon, he was off duty at the time, and he lived in Whitton Road, and Whitton Road is that way, so about half a mile that way I think. And he obviously heard what was going on, ran up here, dived up onto the railway, and then started helping moving the wagons around while they were still blowing up and exploding at the time. And the final person I want to mention is signalman Peter Stringer, who was blown from his signal box during the attack, and he then got back on post and helped to shunt the wagons and get them clear of any further danger, which is absolutely fantastic acts of heroism, because it would have been very terrifying to be around a load of blowing up ammunition containers and wagon trains. But they did what they thought they needed to do at the time, and fantastically, very heroically, were awarded civilian campaign medals for their actions during that attack. And although there's nothing left to see, I do want to leave you with a quote from Winston Churchill, who after the Blitz he come up to Liverpool to see the damage, and talking about the damage around Bootle, which was heavily devastated, and the docks, and obviously this isolated incident here in Clubmoor / Tuebrook. He said, "I see the damage done by enemy attacks, but I also see the spirit of an unconquered people." And that was his quote to the people of Liverpool after the Blitz. And I did try to do that at home when I read the quote in a Churchill accent, but I sounded like a mixture between Sean Connery and the Admiral, that lizard looking Admiral from Star Wars. So you'll be thankful I didn't try and do it again there. Right, that'll do you all. So thank you once again for the subscriber who told me about this, because I knew nothing about it, and whether that is or isn't where the train fell down, I don't know, but you get the picture anyway. So thank you very much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and try and get me towards 1,000 subscribers, because once I get to 1,000 subscribers I'll stop asking you to subscribe to the channel. I just want to get to that target, and then I know I've achieved something, and then what will be will be. So have yourselves a very nice day, and Scouse Farm, we'll see you all again soon.